Tonight on CTV, the effects AI might have on the upcoming election.
Then learn about the difficult living conditions this year's freshmen are dealing with.
And finally, find out about CSU's upcoming football game against UNC, as well as the results of the Boise game.
All this and more tonight on CTV.
Good evening, Rams. I'm Adam Carlson.
And I'm Gabriele Hibbitts.
Tragedy struck Appalachia High School in Winder, Georgia on Wednesday, where 4 lives were lost and 9 others injured in a shooting. Among the victims were 2 beloved math teachers, Christina Irami and Richard Aspinwall, alongside students Mason Schermerhorn and Christian Angulo. The suspected shooter, 14-year-old Colt Gray, is now in custody and will be charged as an adult. The community is reeling as it remembers those lost, including Aspinwall, a dedicated teacher and football coach. The injured, including 8 students and a teacher, are expected to recover. Our thoughts are with the families.
While our community grapples with the tragic events at Appalachia High School, we're now turning over to reporter JJ McKinney with breaking news about a disturbing incident at a nearby fraternity that has sparked outrage. JJ?
Colorado State University Fraternity has been accused by multiple organizations of participating in blackface. We must warn viewers that some of the footage that you're about to see may be disturbing. CSU student Corey Valentine was collecting spin scooters for his job last night at midnight when they saw a banner of Uncle Sam in what appears to be in blackface on Lambda Chi Alpha's fraternity house. The banner appears to be a promotional ad encouraging members or potential members to rush for Lambda. Valentine took various photos and videos of the banner throughout the night as he continued to make his rounds. The images were posted on social media, including CSU's Yik Yak page and Valentine's personal Instagram account. Valentine made one more final stop at Lambda Chi's home around 5 a.m., where the banner had reportedly been removed. After Valentine went to student case management to submit a biased incident report, he made one more stop at Lambda Chi Alpha's fraternity home at 12 p.m. when he was confronted by its members.
I'm gonna call the police real quick.
Yeah, we got you.
What's your name?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yo, honestly, wait, hold up. Before you call the police, I don't know. I think it was just a misconception,
Dude.
bro. We didn't mean, I don't know. During the day, you have the flag, it wasn't blackface. I don't know. It rained. The lighting, it wasn't anything to do intentionally.
We have reached out to Colorado State University, Fraternity and Sorority Life, and Lambda Chi Alpha for a statement, and have not yet received comment. But we'll continue to post updates on this story as it develops. Back to you on desk.
Thanks for that update, JJ. Moving on, a mom will spend almost 20 years in prison after her daughter ingested some of her mother's deadly fentanyl pills. Mystique Wadena pled guilty to child abuse resulting in death. Wadena's 12-year-old daughter visited her at a hotel 2 years ago, where she consumed some of her mother's fentanyl pills, resulting in a fatal overdose. The district attorney in Weld County hopes that this sends the message that this behavior will not be tolerated.
A man was arrested after police say he attempted to board a Poudre School District bus on Tuesday afternoon. The bus was carrying Putnam Elementary School students and was a scheduled stop on Conifer Street across the street from the Murphy Center for Hope when a man unrecognized by the bus driver tried to board the bus. A security guard from the Murphy Center for Hope walked over and pulled the man from the steps. The man never came into contact with any of the children on the bus and now faces multiple misdemeanors. Now, stick around because after the break, our very own Elyse Gyrke will give us the rundown of this week's weather.
After 2 years?
You gotta be kidding me! Okay, no.
Robbie.
Seriously, do you have anything you can use against the dragon?
I can do fireball, that'll do a lot of damage.
Yeah, to all of us!
Well,
we're in a 4-foot roof!
I'm sorry, what else do you want me to do? I can't.
Hold on. All right. Wizard, what do you do? Wizard?
I
I don't think I'm into this kind of stuff fully. I can't do it. Hey, I think I'm pretty anxious. I'm just.
No, we can pause this.
We can take a break. Let me go get some water. Yeah.
Give us another day.
Yeah.
Yes, we're good.
Welcome back from the break, Rams. I'm Elyse Gyrke here to give you this week's weather rundown. So let's jump right into it. I always forget. Currently in Fort Collins it is 73 degrees and the sun sets at 7:25 p.m. The humidity is at 3%, so a little bit drier than it was yesterday, and the wind is moving north-northwest at 5 miles per hour. This morning, a blanket of clouds covered the sky following yesterday's light showers. This brought out the greenery on campus. By 3 p.m. today, those AM clouds blew away, making for a sunny afternoon. Heading into our overnight lows, tonight, Fort Collins is going to sit at a cool 55 degrees, Denver at 60, Colorado Springs and Pueblo both at 55. Moving over to the eastern plains, we have Sterling and Burlington sitting around 53-54 degrees, and Lamone at 50 degrees, and Lamar a little bit warmer at 55. Heading over to the western slopes, we have Craig, pretty cold tonight, 46 degrees, Gunnison, Alamosa, and Telluride at 42, and Grand Junction at 64 degrees, so a little bit warmer. Tomorrow in Colorado, we have a high of 84 degrees and a low of 54 degrees. The sun is going to set 2 minutes later at 7:23 p.m. The humidity is going to be at 2%, and the wind will be moving southeast at 8 miles an hour. Next week in Fort Collins, we'll see the temperatures more of the same, partly cloudy all week, 87 degrees on Saturday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday will all be at 90, with the lows being in the high 50s. That's all for me tonight, Rams. Thank you, and that brings me to the end of our weather forecast. Back to you guys.
Able to enjoy a few more amenities these coming weeks in Roosevelt and Arapahoe National Forests. Fire restrictions have now decreased to a Stage 1 restriction, which means campers can build fires and light up developed campsites.
Now, you still can't just make a fire anywhere, and you can't use rock fire rings, but you will be able to smoke if you are 3 feet away from flammable materials. Drivers beware, Fort Collins police will be watching you a lot closer on speeding cameras. Authorities say many major roads are becoming hotspots for speeding, including College, Shields, Prospects, and Drake. If caught speeding between 10 to 25 miles per hour over the speed limit, drivers will be issued up to a $45 fine, but no points taken off of their license. This month will remain a warning period for the new system, but get ready because tickets will be mailed out starting next month.
The beginning of the fall semester is the time when students are adjusting to their new environment and gearing up for the school year ahead. This holds especially true for freshman students who are new to campus and experience many significant shifts that come with starting college. Getting comfortable with big changes is not the only challenge freshmen have been presented with this fall. Many are struggling to combat the hot and stuffy atmospheres in their dorms without air conditioning, making their adjustment to college all the more challenging.
I think it makes people more irritable, and so there's oftentimes a lot of roommate disagreements. Also, there's little space as it is in these dorms, and having a bunch of fans takes up a lot of space. It makes it hard to focus on schoolwork when you're really hot in your room. Makes it hard to get a good night's sleep when you're sweating.
Hot and stuffy conditions in resident halls such as Westfall and Corbett make many everyday tasks such as completing homework and going to sleep not so easy. This presents issues for dorm residents and resident assistants alike.
And 3 fans going, and I mean during the day we just kind of close the blinds. So It gets really hot in the dorms. We have a quad, so like we have a middle room, and we only have one fan in the middle room, and it gets like really hot in there.
To talk to all the residents and see how they've been doing, and I had to let a couple of them know that like portable AC units weren't allowed because they pose a fire hazard with how much electricity they use. Yeah, I just had to apologize because there's nothing I can do about it, but being a student athlete too, coming back from practices is not a wonderful experience.
Parents of freshman students are concerned about their children's ability to learn and thrive in such conditions, with many of them contributing to a Facebook post on the issue. Yet many students and resident assistants maintain an optimistic attitude.
Honestly, I really like the fans because it's kind of like white noise to help me go to sleep. So,
yeah. I guess I would want freshmen to know that it gets better once it starts to get cooler outside.
Although freshmen are enduring living conditions that are far from ideal, there remains hope for the rest of the semester ahead, as students are discovering methods to best keep their room temperature bearable, and cooler temperatures are just around the corner.
Wildlife officials are asking for the public's help in tracking down and determining who fatally shot a critically endangered California condor in Colorado this past March. California condors are protected under the Endangered Species Act, and killing a condor can result in a third-degree felony charge. Any tips on this incident can be reported through the Colorado Parks and Wildlife and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. Now, be sure to stick around because after the break, Brooklyn Martinez is going to tell us what we can expect from the upcoming football game, and you don't want to miss it.
Awkward. Do I look familiar? I should. You might remember me from here. Here. Or maybe even here.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
It can actually be a perfect moment to reach out to a friend and ask if they're okay if they seem down.
Doesn't matter how you say it.
You all right?
Everything's okay?
All G?
You all right, girl?
You cool?
Bug and dog.
Just show you're there for them.
Go on, Kelly. Seize the awkward.
Hey, you haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
How's it going, Ram fans? My name is Brooklyn Martinez, and I'm your fill-in sports anchor for the evening. Now that fall sports are back, we have a lot of Mountain West football action going on this Saturday, including none other than the Green and Gold opening up the gates to Canvas Stadium for the first time this season. Let's dive in. The Rams will be taking on their next-door neighbor, the University of Northern Colorado. Now, both of these teams are coming into play with a 0-1 record. However, CSU should 100% win this game. Northern Colorado wasn't able to take the dub in a single game last season, ending with a 0-11 record. The Rams, on the other hand, were able to take 5 wins, finishing 5-8. Northern Colorado is led by Ed Lamb for just his second season as a Bear. Lamb has had a rough time planting his feet with the team, still looking to break that heavy losing streak. Now, a couple of Bear faces might look familiar, and there's a reason. They used to wear green and gold. Peyton Polson put up 3 tackles as a UNC linebacker Week 1, and former walk-on Van Shield, after making his off-season transfer Week 1, brought him 80 yards and 11 carries. For those attending, wear your orange and celebrate with some annual Ag Day barbecue. Moving on to the Ducks and the Broncos, Boise will be headed over to play in Autzen Stadium to take on some tough competition. Both of these teams took a win last Saturday. The Broncos finished the 2023 football season with an 8-6 record, while the Ducks concluded 12-2. Personally, I'm going for the upset and will say that Boise has a slight edge on this matchup, as Ashton Jeanty scored 6 touchdowns against the SBC school, Georgia Southern, this past weekend, and the Broncos pulled off the 56-45 win. As far as Oregon goes, they struggled in their first game as Big Ten members. Quarterback Elyse Gyrke threw for 380 yards and 3 touchdowns to make his Oregon debut. Nonetheless, Oregon pulled off the win 24-14. Although Oregon was held at high expectations for this season, Duck fans are worried the team is not going to be everything that they had hoped for. Next, we move on to the Beavers taking on the Aztecs down in the Golden State. They both come in 1-0, but San Diego State concluded 4 8 last year, while Oregon State ended 8-5. These teams do not see each other very often, only facing off a handful of times in the last few decades. Unfortunately for SDSU, that means it has just been about 50 years since finding success over Oregon State. Now, based on that, you might feel more confident in your prediction, but who knows now that SDSU has brought over CSU's former standout wide receiver, Lewis Brown. And lastly, San Jose takes on Air Force just 2 hours south of Fort Collins. The Falcons are favored at 5.5, which feels fair if expecting SJSU to struggle putting points on the board. The Spartans absolutely have a fourth quarter second win trend in their favor, but need to keep high energy throughout the game if they want to pull off a win. Another huge aspect that could make or break this game is rushing yards. Both teams are great with the ball on the ground, but need to keep trekking forward if expecting to outrush their opponent. Not only is San Jose State undefeated since the 2022 season when rushing more than 30 times, but Air Force is winless on that same timeline when allowing 120 or more rushing yards. This could be an absolutely fun game to watch if you find yourself tuning in Saturday evening. But Rams, for those of you in Mountain West Country, I hope you have an incredible, safe, fun, and festive football weekend. Don't go anywhere just yet, because when we come back, our investigative reporter, Bailey Borkowski, will fill you in on the role AI is playing in the upcoming election.
Living with someone you don't know on the other side of the wall is hard, especially if you don't know how to be a good roommate. The first thing that you'll want to do to be a good roommate is make sure that you always stay quiet. Be considerate of others when using common spaces and appliances.
Hey buddy, what you doing?
I'm just gonna need like 40 minutes. Be respectful of your roommate's privacy. Ugh, my bad. Finally, make sure that you clean up after yourself. Oh, a fresh toothbrush.
Have you seen my toothbrush?
Follow these tips to get along with your roommates and your landlord.
Good evening, Rams. I'm Bailey Borkowski. Election season has begun across the country, and candidates' campaigns are in full swing. Some strategies used to help boost a candidate's ratings and likelihood of getting elected are somewhat unconventional, and Colorado legislators have put in a couple laws to help protect the truth and integrity of this upcoming election. AI has become all the rage these past few years, but how is AI affecting the election? Well, AI has been getting increasingly harder to spot as the technology used for AI has been improving rapidly. Some say that AI could be used to trick voters and infringe on their ability to make an informed decision.
I think it will create a new misinformation media that will affect the news cycle and just generally make it more difficult to determine where public figures actually stand.
With the revolution of AI, fake news can be made in a matter of seconds. With videos, images, articles, whatever it may be, AI can come up with it and faster than we can ever imagine. And so I think that fake news will spread rapidly more and more every day as the election comes closer, and it will scare people away from voting or away from certain candidates.
I think AI is just going to sway people's opinions. I think it's going to be used as kind of like misdirection and misinformation spreading. I think we'll see edited clips and voice, like AI voice,
Another danger that AI poses is that it can create audio or video of a candidate doing or saying something that had never taken place. These are also known as deepfakes.
Deepfakes are this manipulated media. And this manipulated media depicts people doing or saying things that they didn't say or do, events that didn't actually happen, in order to mislead the public.
Considering these dangers, Colorado legislature recently signed a law to help people spot when AI is being used. People will have to disclose if AI was used in the content created, and failure to do so will result in a fine.
When it comes to this kind of content online without disclosure and voter education, seeing is believing. It can be really easy to be deceived or influenced by deepfake media. So bills like this one in Colorado provide kind of a first level of safeguards by requiring that these deepfake manipulations include a disclaimer that tells people that it's been, manipulated or made using AI.
With the election rapidly approaching, the public will most likely see this law enforced very soon. Having AI being so hard to spot, people, no matter the education level, may have difficulty identifying when AI is being used. Being able to distinguish when media is not true is important, so some tips from Microsoft on how to know when AI is being used are to check and recheck your sources, check for accuracy before sharing or commenting, report suspected deepfakes and disinformation, keep your media literacy skills sharp, and validate your voting plan with government authorities. The law to disclose the use of AI is not the only law that Colorado legislature has passed, as there has been another factor that has fooled voters and even government officials. In the 2020 election, it was revealed that fake electors attempted to claim Donald Trump as the winner of their state in order to overturn election results. Although this did not occur in Colorado and instead affected states across the country, the Colorado state legislature has taken preventative measures and signed a bill making it illegal to pose as an elector. In a news release by Colorado State Secretary Jenna Griswold states that trying to steal an election through fake electors is now a crime in the state of Colorado. I am proud that we are the first state in the country to expressly criminalize these efforts. However, others were not as supportive of this bill. Republican Representative Ken DeGroff thinks this bill was unnecessary, as there are already precautions in place that the new law outlines. With these new laws in place, Colorado hopes to keep the integrity and election fair and intact. Well, that is all the news we have for you tonight, Rams. Check out our YouTube channel for more content all week. Stay safe and have a great weekend.